Welcome back to Landmark Media Day. It's Frank Rossi again from In the Huddle, and this is the only conference where the commissioner writes out her own name cards on the fly during our commercials. Let's hear it for Katie Boldvich here, who's done a great job assembling this media day together. Right now, we got Catholic up here, and guys, we're going to let you introduce yourselves. So name, position, year, for those that can't read them necessarily in front of you, and then Coach, any opening remarks you want to give. So go right ahead.
Okay, so my name's Connor James. I'm a senior offensive lineman.
Preston Jeffrey, senior wide receiver.
I'm Javier Oliver. I'm a grad year student, offensive lineman.
And that's my defense coordinator, Brandon Beech.
Hello, coordinator.
Yeah.
He's like, do I say anything?
Hey, listen, because y'all said the players. I was like, well, I'm not a player.
Fine, that works. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I don't really have anything, opening-wise, just to say that how excited we are to be under the same umbrella as all of our other sports and be part of the Landmark now. We were... For a while, we were in the ODAC, and we were the northernmost in the Southern Conference. And then the last few years, we've been in the NUMAC, so we were the southernmost of a Northern Conference. And now we're, it's feels like we're home. So it's an exciting thing. I'm looking forward to it. We've got quality competition. A top 25 type team already in the conference, and other guys fighting to become that. And so I'm looking forward to really developing some new rivalries and being very competitive.
Very much a Goldilocks type of situation, finding the conference that's just right.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
We have a question out in the audience.
Yeah.
Coach, it's not every year that you get to be a part of a first inaugural season. What is the standard that you hope to set this year as you enter into the Landmark?
I think, one, we want to continue on our track of improvement, and that's what these guys have been a part of in my time at Catholic, has been restoring a program that has great tradition. And we've gotten to a point where we're good, and now I think the standard is we want to have competitive excellence. We want to be elite, and that's what we're aiming for. And I think anytime you have a change of environment, that's a chance to dig in again and go back and look at what's important. What is your culture? How do you want to make sure that you're addressing those things in a positive way so that you can get the maximum out of these guys and continue to build on what they've done so far?
Of course, you've been, obviously, the school's been in the Landmark Conference since the beginning. You guys haven't as a program, but what do you know about the conference from the other athletic programs' perspectives that makes this home?
Right. Well, most of the teams we've had, had played in the recent past, at least, except for Keystone because they weren't around. But Catholic has played all of these schools at some point. I think we traditionally scrimmage Johns Hopkins, so we get some idea of what the quality football that was in the Centennial. So those schools coming in, I have an idea what they're doing. During COVID in 2021, that spring, the one contest we did get in really was against Wilkes, so that was a chance to see Coach Draxstyle and what they do there. We got to drive up the same day because of COVID protocol and play them, and then drive back the same day. It was a long day, but it was a good experience. But again, even with that being said, it's still a lot of unfamiliar territory. We're going to have to figure out what these teams are about. We were in the NUMAC for really 6 seasons, and took me 4 or 5 to really get a handle on what each program was about. And the other thing is with travel, you have to figure out where's the right hotel to stay and how far do you want to be, and how do you feed the guys, and so that's all new this year as well, all the logistics. But I will say the mileage on the buses is going to go down, so that's great.
So, go ahead.
Coach, you kind of building off of that a little bit. Is everybody all kind of in the same boat too? Teams are unfamiliar with you, as you are unfamiliar with them.
Mm-hmm.
So is that kind of level the playing field a little bit, because with a new conference, everyone's almost kind of in the same boat, other than the schools that Susquehanna and Moravian who played each other, in the same conference.
I think for us it is. It's going to be a little bit like a top boxing match where the two guys get in there, and you got to throw some jabs and figure out what the other guy's doing and what his style is. And I think that's going to take some time. We're going to have to feel each other out a little bit. And the one thing I know is with the competition in this conference, it's going to there won't be a lot of jabs. There'll be some haymakers coming quickly. It's going to get very physical and be very competitive early. With that being said, the preparation I think is where we're going to really have to do our homework, and the same for our opponents. They're going to have to dig in and find out who we are too.
It's August, football's back, guys. How excited are you to kind of get into fall camp, and what are you most looking forward to see out of your different position groups as you get to start meshing with the team?
I go first.
Yeah, you go.
I'm excited to get to see the guys. I always love welcoming the incoming freshmen in, kind of showing them what Catholic football is all about. I unfortunately didn't have my freshman year because of COVID, so I missed kind of the camp and meeting 100 new your best friends right away. So I'm excited about that. Welcome the team. We play some fun games during camp to kind of get to know people's names and stuff. And position group wise, I'm excited. We're a senior group. We're ready to go, even though we do run kind of an air raid pass first system. We have started to lean on the run more in past years, recent years. So I'm excited to keep that going and to be back with the guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited is an understatement. I think I've been waiting a long time, it feels like, to get back in season. I'm excited for camp as well to see the guys because you're away from each other for a good portion of summer at least, except for a few guys here and there. So getting to see the guys again is definitely brings everybody home. And then living in the dorms together all in one place really allows team bonding and stuff like that. And then in terms of my position group, I'm excited to see the development, especially in the younger guys. I think we got a really good room. So seeing how they've progressed and gotten better as a player is definitely exciting. And then even the vets as well.
I'm super excited. I can't wait for this fall. I'm excited to see the standard that we set upon ourselves last year because we went 6-4. That was good, but not to our standard. So we want to exceed that and just build a better team and build a better mindset this year going into the season. And as far as my position group, I'm excited to bring some physicality to the team. And yeah, that's about it.
To the players, let's talk about last season briefly and what you take away from it ultimately. It was an inconsistent season in some ways. 3 losses out of the first 4 games, 3 in a row, 2, 3, 4 weeks there, and then the 2 losses at the end of the season. Obviously, some nice wins in between, but what did you learn from the highs and the lows of last season, and what are you going to do to improve upon it heading into the landmark this year especially?
I think it's just exactly what you said, being consistent. Don't treat anyone like you're playing, I'm an Eagles fan, so you're playing the Eagles or playing this overpowered team. Treat everyone at the same level of competitive, this is your last game, it's do or die. So kind of give everyone the same level of expect and try to build on our consistency that we kind of caught at the end of last year.
Yeah, I definitely think that ups and downs are part of the game. It's not like a sprint. It's a pretty long season. It's 10 games. I think a coach has a slogan. It's going 1-0, and I think that buying into that is going 1-0, not just in every game, but it starts in practice that week. 1-0 in every rep will help you go 1-0 in that game. So I think just keep pushing that mindset. Keep trying to go 1-0, and then just understand that if things do happen, it's behind you. Move on to next week.
Going along with these guys said, consistency and accountability is huge for us, and making sure we know going into each week what we're supposed to do, what our roles are, and just making sure every guy knows the responsibility on and off the field and the standard that we have as a team that we have to set day in and day out.
Is he as stylish all the time as he is today?
Oh, he's probably.
The drip improved.
I would say the drip is arguably.
As I came as a freshman, the drip wasn't like that, but
He might have stepped up.
I stepped it up.
Is that the reason you came back for your grad year, basically,
Yeah.
to
Yes.
keep the drip alive?
Keep the drip alive. Yeah.
Coach, you hear them talk about last season. I saw you at home versus Springfield was not the results you were looking for last year, but they competed all the way through that game. Obviously, it was a very close game to the very end. But how do you get that next step here, especially going into this newness of this conference?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, and I think what these guys understand, I think we'll find out during training camp, is that we've become a good football team, and but none of these guys signed up to be good, and so you go back to the old Jim Collins, good is the enemy of great. We have to become great, and so we're going to have to do great things. So the old saying of you don't become a champion first, you have to do champion type things, and that's what we have to become more elite at the way we operate and everything we do, in and out, in practice, out of practice. Obviously, recruiting plays a huge part, and being able to get a few of these guys to come back for another year while they finish up their work or start a grad degree has been fantastic. there's a certain momentum that builds, and it has been building in their time here. And I think time will tell, but what you hope is that you reach a point where that flywheel just takes off on its own, and it pushes you up and beyond. So you no longer are just a good team. You're that team that everybody has to circle on their calendar.
Guys, Coach Gut is probably referred to as one of the nicest guys in head coaching out there. Is it just a facade, or is it real? Tell us about Coach and anything you want to add that will not get you in trouble because I'm asking.
Javier, why don't you start this?
Nah, it's not a facade at all. He is who he is, and just being there for you on and off the field, he cares about you and wants to see you develop into the best human being possible. And just me and my personal journey, he helped me become a man in different ways that I didn't see fit. So I want to thank him so much for that.
Yeah, no, Coach is definitely not a facade. His character is definitely one of the main reasons why I came to Catholic in the first place. He kind of took me in, and I immediately felt like I was part of his family. And I think that's the message that he conveys to the whole team. He takes time to develop individual relationships with every player, which I think also kind of builds into that whole family aspect. And yeah, he's just a really, really good guy.
Yeah, echoing what those guys have said. When I was getting recruited, my mom wasn't going to let me go anywhere where she didn't feel like I could develop not only as a football player, as a student, but as a man as well. And I think we really found that here at Catholic with Coach Gut. And he'll turn it up when he needs to and get honest if we're doing a drill wrong or practice isn't going well. But it's not a facade. He is that guy who wants the best for you on the field, off the field, in every facet of life.
Coach Gut is mom approved. That's good to know. Coach, we have one more question here, and then we got something for you.
Connor, could you kind of expand on your journey to Catholic? How you got there? What does it mean for you to get a chance to play in the conference, kind of closer to home?
Sure, so it means a ton moving closer to home, but it was funny. So I wasn't really looking to play college football coming out of high school. I had a pretty good high school career. I enjoyed my time. I loved the game, and I was kind of done. I was applying to Catholic to go to school there, and then Coach Bernard was no longer on the staff, and Coach Gut had reached out. And kind of I went there. I wasn't really into football, but I saw the facility. I met some of the guys who were already there, Coach Beech included, and it felt like I was back in my high school locker room, with the guys. It felt like home. And going home's great. Like you mentioned, we had to go 8 hours, sometimes 14 hours on road games. But I have a couple of buddies at the schools around me who are going to be playing, so that little friendly competition from high school is going to mean a lot. And I'm excited, man. PA is my country. I got a lot of family there, so it's going to be good for senior year.
Coach, to hear these guys talk about you, it's your turn to turn the tables, because let's look at the fact it was 1-9 and 2-8 and 18 and 19, and then we'll skip over the 1-0 in the COVID year there, but 6-4 and 6-5 now, 2 winning seasons in a row. Mm-hmm. Thanks to these guys, thanks to your assistant coaches, obviously. What did it mean just to hear that from these guys, and what is that what's led to this? I mean, that family feel, the culture, as our questioner out there brings up a lot. I'm going to steal his question. Is it the culture? And tell us about it.
Yeah, I think so. That's something. First and foremost, it goes back to recruiting. The people you invite into your home, you want to be the right people, and that's when you recruit a quality young man, you're going to get a quality product, and so that's what's helped build the program. Last year, we had a chance to do some things I thought we were going to do. We didn't get it done, so now that's left a bigger chip on our shoulder. But the success that's coming, I think, pales in comparison to what I see the future for these guys. And it's not necessarily popular in the world today to say that, I'm here to not just build a winning football program, but to build winning husbands and fathers. And that's what I want these guys to go on and do. And they're going to change the world one family at a time, one town at a time, really in one school at a time. So right now their job is to help change the football program at Catholic, and we're pouring into them, but they're also pouring back into the school. So to hear that it's, obviously we're here at a press conference, so they know to say the right things, but to hear what they say, that's good. I think it was, I can't remember which football coach said, they said, how's the team going to be this year? And he said, I don't know, ask me in 40 years. And sometimes I feel like that, well, ask me in 20 years and we'll see how the team was.
Guys, we're going to end in our In the Huddle fashion here, where players and assistant coaches, perhaps, will get to give shout-outs to any family, friends, teammates, assistant coaches they coach with, or anybody else out there. So get ready for that. And then, Coach, after they're done with shout-outs, we'll give you a chance for final words. We have a coaches roundtable later, but any final words for this portion you want to give about the season upcoming? We'll start here.
Shout out just the guys back home watching. We got 6 days till camp starts. I'm excited. Friends and family too will be coming to watch the games. They're going to get to see, like Coach Gut said, a high quality product this year.
Mom's coming?
Oh, of course, Mom's coming.
Yeah, there
Come
you
on.
go.
Yeah, shout out to the guys back home. Shout out to my family, my mom and my brother and my pops. Big part of me becoming who I am. Shout out to my friends back home too as well that support me every day. And shout out to all my teammates, parents, and family too, who really give our school a home feeling.
Shout out, Mama. I love you so much. Shout out to my boys back home. Shout out to all the guys getting ready for camp. Let's do this thing. And shout out to all my friends back home as well.
Is Mom approving of the drip?
Oh, of course. She set it all up. Every time you see me dressed up, my mom got me squared away.
Mom, it's working. Good job.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of Cardinal Nation, and also shout out to my family back in High Point, North Carolina, and my fiance. I better shout her out.
What's her first name?
Karina.
Got a good guy there. Coach, final thoughts.
Again, just to circle back to where we started, that this season is something special, and while it's the first for landmark football, it's still football, and it's going to take that sweat and that hard work and that day in, day out, going, like Preston said, going 1-0 each day. And if we do that, hopefully we'll find ourselves in a good spot when all the chips are played. Guys,
Hope to get to see you again. It was a great experience down there. Great tailgate also for you guys. You're right up there with Susquehanna with great tailgates in the landmark, I can tell already. And we'll see what happens here this season. You got a lot of talent coming back and a lot of holes to fill. We'll see what it leads to. Ultimately, good luck to you, and we will be back with our final team for this portion of our media day, and that's going to be Lycoming coming up.